Everyone, my name is PelleK and this is
Christian, or well, Waterflame, obviously.
Yes, we met for the first time online like a few months ago now.
Yeah.
This is the first time we meet in person, and we did a panel here at this gaming convention in Norway yesterday, and we've been hanging out and vibing and talking about all the music we've been making and stuff. And doing this interview, we thought we'd follow about the same format as we did on the stage.
Yeah,
So,
more or less just like kind of talk about our experience. So yeah, funny thing is we have almost done the same thing, like making music, being in the media industry, being self-taught, and living like just 1.5 hours from each other, doing this for like 14 years or something.
yes, without ever knowing.
Without ever knowing about each other. So it's pretty crazy. It's really nice to finally meet. I mean, I sent Pelle a mail when I realized he existed. Basically, it's just like, why haven't I talked to you before?
Yeah, it was weird because he was living in Japan as well.
Yeah.
And I work a lot in Japan, mostly online, but with Japanese people, and sometimes in Japan as well. And it's just such a crazy situation to find each other and having done the same thing for so long and not knowing that like I didn't know he existed, he didn't know about me. So yeah, but yeah, we're vibing really well. So making some music
Absolutely.
together. I put some vocals on his new Electroman with vocals single.
I'm gonna help out with some instrumental and scoring. So yeah,
Yeah, on
it's
my new
already
album.
on your new album. Yeah,
Yeah, so exciting.
Absolutely.
I guess talk a little bit about where we come from and everything then.
yeah, that would be good. I mean, if people have been following this here podcast, they know a little bit about me. But yeah, I've been making music for 15 years for video games. I make games as well, indie games with autodidactic, doing all sorts of creative indie stuff. Now I'm branching out more. We're doing more live action scoring of movies, and which also you have brushed way more on than me actually. But yeah, you can tell a little bit about you.
Sure. So I'm PelleK. I'm also Norwegian. I've been started with YouTube, and because my channel did really well after a while, I have about 4 million subscribers. Now and then someone would find my music and hire me to sing on something, which eventually led to me getting to make music for games like League of Legends, Magic the Gathering, Path of Exile, Power Rangers franchise. And last year I got to sing my first official opening for an anime called Skeleton Knight in Another World.
It's crazy. I'm jealous.
As well, it's like a dream come true to be able to make music for anime for me, because that's like where it started. I sing on Japanese. I actually have 1,700, more than 1,700 songs on Spotify now, including where I sing on all of them, and lots of those are in Japanese.
Is it that many already?
Yeah, I've been doing this for like 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I do challenges for myself a lot where I sing like one song a day minimum, and I have the world's longest album on Spotify too, with 112 tracks on one album.
Wow.
Yeah.
You beat my Vast with 50. I thought that was a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one. I mean, I did that as a meme, kind of, just like to set the record and everything.
Yeah.
But yes, that's kind of where we come from, like making music. We try to like get as many jobs as possible, making music for big studios, and stuff with big production. And we also dabble a bit in animation and game development, etc. as well. But music is like what's closest to our hearts.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and Spotify is like our main platform in addition to YouTube.
Yeah, Spotify and YouTube, because I mean that's where the revenue comes from, basically. So we had to adhere to that. So mainly Spotify for me. I mean, my YouTube isn't nearly as big as yours, but that's also like a very important central hub.
Yeah.
It's kind of like where people initially find you, I feel, because if I like a song from a movie or something, the first place I go to look for it is YouTube. It's always been like that's where you search for it.
Yeah.
So it's super important to be there in general, I think.
100%. So in the future, I think we plan on working more together. We are already working on. He's doing the music for a song I composed for my album. Obviously, we'll offer my services for him as well, for any vocals that he may need. We have some other plans as well. We have a song we're working on now for some colleagues of mine. And I think potentially we're trying to do more stuff in terms of licensing songs and stuff with autodidactic.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, lots of exciting plans, really.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And again, I can't believe like you're just out here, because I actually have family where Pelle lives. And I've been here in this town like many times in my life. But Yeah, now it's suddenly everything is happening here. Like we're at the Retro Mesa right now, so you can see behind us there's a lot of people. And just by a stroke of luck, two composers that have inspired both of us, like Nobuo Uematsu and David Wise, that's made like music for Diddy Kong Racing and stuff like that, and obviously Uematsu's Final Fantasy. And they were both here, just randomly in Norway, so we just had to go here. You know,
crazy event, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a surprising turnout for a Norwegian thing. Like this is pretty good.
It's been crammed since yesterday. Like it opened yesterday morning, and it's been packed. It's been really good. We watched the Uematsu concert. We were lucky to get VIP tickets, so we got to meet him afterwards, take pictures, he signed our stuff and everything. And people have said to me a lot in Japan, especially, that my music sounds inspired by Uematsu.
Oh yeah.
Because I grew up with Final Fantasy games, etc. So it absolutely is. So I gave him a little letter, and crossing my fingers I get to work with him in the future. That would be awesome. Uematsu is like he's a legend in my book.
Yeah, that would be like the upper echelon, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
And yeah, so we like Pelle mentioned at the start of this little segment here, we had a talk. First, we basically opened for the Retro Mesa more or less. We were the first talk, and we did kind of like this. We talked about ourselves and what we do and like our projects in conjunction. But it sadly also ate a little bit into Pelle's time, because you're making an MMORPG, which is crazy to be still. That's super cool, and you have a booth here and everything. So
yeah, I thought I'd show it off a little bit. We talked about. I haven't talked about this to my Norwegian followers a lot.
Okay.
I barely talked about it to anyone because it's still in development.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in. I also act in addition to all my music, and I was on a TV show called Vikings on HBO, and they put me in a hotel room for weeks and weeks, and I just sat there playing video games, and it annoyed me how in MMORPGs nowadays you get to a certain level, and then that's the max level, and then the fun is over, I kind of feel like. And even if you get you spend 1,000 hours getting the best gear and stuff, there's a new expansion coming out.
Yeah.
And then your friend who has played 1 hour of that expansion is as strong as you, and you played 1,000 hours. So I don't like. So this is an MMORPG that I hired developers from RuneScape and Activision Blizzard, etc. We've been working on it in development for about 2.5 years, I believe. Ready for open alpha in about 2 months. So it's exciting. It's called Domi Online, so you can check it out.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's super cool, and I also. That's another thing that's like very close to me, because I'm walking around being peeved over the exact same thing. I'm like, an MMO would, in theory, be the coolest genre of game. It's just that they've bastardized it over the past 10 years. Like all kinds of microtransaction and just like raid finders, and like all the fun has been sucked out, all the challenge.
We've removed all those aspects. There are no flying mounts, there's no raid finder, you have to go places. When you die, you lose a massive amount of experience, you want to stay alive. There's world PvP everywhere, no level cap, no skill cap. So it's a journey, right? And you have to coexist with all these people on a server to have a good time, and you have to live together and make deals together and trade, and like you can't just not care about it like you would do, like for instance, when I play World of Warcraft, I don't really care that much, because it doesn't matter if someone kills me, I just run back to my corpse.
But
there's major consequences in this game, and people have to be able to play together and live together. So it's going to be exciting to see how the guild wars pan out, and how if people are friends or enemies, if people start power abusing. It's a journey, and it's definitely not an easy game to make. People always told me like an MMO is very hard to make, which it was.
It is the hardest genre. MMO and strategy games are kind of like the hard mode.
But my main thing in life is music, so obviously I also worked on the music in the game. I hired one of my friends from Japan, Eba-san, who made music for Attack on Titan, for instance, an Overlord series.
Which is crazy,
I love him, he's fantastic. So yeah, I hired him. We also have voice actors from games like World of Warcraft, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, you name it, Final Fantasy Online. So try to get the best of the best. The cinematic sequences in the game are made by Bunker VFX, who's on Doom Eternal and Outlast, etc.
Yeah, they look amazing.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it's starting to shape up to be a pretty good game, and no idea how the release is going to go, but we fingers crossed that people are going to receive it well, and it's going to be a popular MMO.
I mean, I also started, instead of WoW, I played MapleStory when I grew up, but I definitely have that like grind addiction in me, so I mean, I gotta be careful with your game when it comes out. So.
Yeah, we could play together. Some cool skins and stuff.
That would be awesome. And I haven't really like scratched the surface of this, because we haven't like known each other that long yet, but I also have a lot of game ideas, and there's one in particular that I keep putting it on the back burner because there's so many other projects coming along.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like my kind of dream concept, and I would love to float that by you at a later date because a lot of the ideas are very similar.
Okay.
It's just that instead of an MMO, it's a roguelike.
Okay.
But there's still like the PvP and online elements are still there. This is another funny story. I won't go on a long tangent, but I actually was supposed to pitch this game at GDC.
Okay.
But that day I lost my appendix instead.
Oh, that's the story.
So yeah,
insane. That's
so
insane.
my friends just had to like kind of go by memory what I said about the game and just rush and do it for me. And to this day I haven't dared look at that video.
I know exactly how you feel because I wrote the screenplay for a movie once, and I went to the Cannes Film Festival in France.
Oh yeah.
And I was so excited, but I forgot to eat when I was going there, and everyone was drinking because there was like parties constantly. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was feeling so bad, and I was just like, I just when I got there, I did the worst presentation of it, and just felt really guilty afterwards. Like I just didn't make the most of this trip. So, but you lost your appendix. You had a better reason than I did.
Yeah, but at least I didn't feel guilty because it's like, hey, I'm losing an organ.
Yes.
It's a valid excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been there for 2 days now. Going back to also tomorrow, but definitely want to keep this up and.
We'll stay in touch, of course. Like we talk very often on Discord, and we have that Discord group together where we talk.
Which I will also say more stuff in after my deadline stack right now. I'm just very
Yeah, you're welcome to come back as well in September if you want, because we're filming music videos for my new album in September.
I was actually gonna say since my family's moved back here now, I could just combine that. So I'd say hello to them and sleep there, and then you can come check out what you guys are doing.
Sounds good, and I'll probably see you in Japan as well because I go there. So and you have been in Japan a lot. Right?
Yeah, we're establishing ourselves in Japan more, and trying to carve out a space in Japan as well. So yeah, we're definitely going back there a lot more.
Yes, same.
And that's one of the only places other than Norway that I don't get sick of.
Oh yeah.
Because when I'm in the US, I have a timer. It's like after 4 weeks, it's like, oh my God, I need to leave.
Okay, yeah.
But in Japan, I can stay, and it's like, you know what? I don't need to leave.
I also feel very at home in Japan. It's amazing.
I think it's the culture is also strangely, at least on surface level, strangely similar to Norway in that you don't. It's more respectful. You don't really talk to strangers. You take care of your street. It's.
I guess, yeah. I didn't think of it so much, but I just I went over to work with the anime studio and I did some music for Sony Japan.
Yeah.
They hired me to sing for a band there and stuff in promotion for.
It's also really cool.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. So I always had really good people taking care of me, taking me to restaurants and stuff. So I didn't get to experience as much time as you did, or that kind of solid,
the day-to-day life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. When you get down to the day-to-day life, I actually thought it's better, honestly, because. Yeah, it's just I could talk about that for a whole other.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. It's very. I resonate with how they live there, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shiawase, as I say in Japanese. But we should probably get back to the booth to do some more stuff. But thank you for watching this little interview, and thank you for conducting it, man behind the camera.
Yes, but yeah, it's been great meeting you, and we'll go back down there.
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right.
All right.